alone and without an audience, Robotham now turned his attention away from both socialism and astronomy to another pet project, finding the medicinal formula that would achieve immortality.
You don't want to do this if you're human.
Narcissism is not arrogance. Narcissism is the opposite of arrogance. There is such a deep sense of inadequacy and
good and bad, and that it got transitioned into a distinction between good and evil.
A simulation project about how cells behave. Wolfram realized that some of the patterns he saw in his own shell collection ended up looking a lot like his simulated groups of cells.
Our strengths, but when it comes to our flaws and weaknesses, we turn a blind eye. This lack of understanding does not make one more free. On the contrary, it makes one more subject to causation and less in control of one's life.
While running, but he said that he was so late that there was not enough time even for that.
The very first X-ray diffraction patterns that showed DNA having a structure were produced in 1937 by William Astbury, and in 1943 Erwin Chargaff performed experiments that showed that the amount of guanine was always equal to the amount of cytosine, and the amount of adenine was always equal to the amount of thiamine.
Then yes, there would be people who want to make up lies or whatever they want to do, because you become a lightning rod for envy by having succeeded at the thing you set out to do, about which you can feel a healthy pride and gratitude.
He could do something, but Anand agreed, with himself that there is no point in.
Jung writes, the psychological rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. That is to say, when the individual remains undivided and does not become conscious of his inner contradictions, the world must perforce act out the conflict and be torn into opposite halves. Freedom is what we do with what's been done to us.
Having is super easy. Just bend your elbow, look into it, and raise your other arm. What do you do here? You either go back or you go back. Well, obviously.
Build your room, your space that you're in.
When searching for answers to interesting questions,
the central point at infinity, right? Okay, sure, like you can think of it mathematically, but in practice, you will actually never meet. But then you can actually have like even higher curvature, and then you get these things that are called hyper-ideal points of infinity. They don't even meet at infinity.
I hope you will be able to do it. So here it is. I hope you are ready. Let's go.